Good morning everyone, I'm Abhinav and today I have a Royal Enfield Guerrilla 450 with me today. I am headed to work and this will be a commute style video where I will talk a little bit about this motorcycle. This is not my motorcycle, this is a Royal Enfield media unit motorcycle that I borrowed from my auto team. So these guys were doing a shootout of this motorcycle with the Speed 400 and the Maverick 400. So, I just thought, let's take the opportunity to ride the motorcycle. It's a very unique looking motorcycle, a little bit of a scrambler mixed with a roadster. Front is a little bit, takes inspiration from the Ducati Scrambler with a offset speedo, everything. Very interesting choice of colors. Personally not my favorite, but it's not bad. It's still pleasing, but I would have preferred slightly more toned down colors. I think the entire color palette that they've gone with is a little loud, very reminiscent of what the Himalayan 450 is like. So let's just swing a leg over it and get going. Seat is very low, handlebars are upright, which I quite like. Okay, let's get going. Not much below 3000 RPM from what I gather from my ride yesterday to home. So before I actually get out on the main road and start talking about the motorcycle, let me give you a little bit of context, a little bit of backstory. About a month and a half ago, my office, it shifted from Delhi to Noida. So my usual commute, which used to be 12 kilometers each side, has now gone up to about 33 kilometers each side. Now if I do it in a car, it takes me 2 hours in traffic. Public transport is not really an option because that also can take close to 2 hours if I take the metro. But I think the only logical solution is taking the motorcycle, and I've been doing that for the most part. This month and a half. On days when it rains, I take the car. It's just easier, you just leave much earlier and you reach home much later. So my outlook on motorcycles has changed in the last month and a half. To me, motorcycles were just a fun tool for weekends and quick sprints to work and back, because work was 20 minutes away. So I never really thought of a motorcycle like I think of them today. A motorcycle for me now has to be my daily partner for almost 3.5 hours. It can actually go up to 3.5 hours. So it has to fulfill a certain number of criteria for me. So it needs to be reliable, it needs to be comfortable. The motorcycle also needs to be fuel efficient, because you are doing those long distances and fuel bills can add up at the end of the day. But it also cannot be boring, and I think that is where a roadster might just fit in. So okay, 7 seconds to go. Let's start talking about this Guerrilla. Let's first start riding it. I really like the mid-range punch on this motorcycle. Is this guy? The motherfucker. Okay, visor down. Holy shit, this bike is fast. This motorcycle is a lot more aggressive than the Himalayan. It's just the map tune. It makes probably the same power and torque as the Himalayan. I think around 40 PS, 40 Newton meters of torque. but the power delivery is quite different. It's a little tame in the first gear, but second onwards, sort of pushes you back in the saddle. Brakes are sharp. Brakes are very sharp. Yeah. Yes, man. This is fun. This motorcycle. I think this is a motorcycle that you will like to commute on. It is very comfortable. It is definitely comfortable. The seat is nice and wide. It's quite low. I'm not used to low seats, but not having a problem with the seat. In fact, the handlebar is quite upright, and that is something that I love personally. I know being a roadster, it doesn't really make sense for the handlebar to be so upright, but it does make sense for somebody like me who is used to only dirt bikes and ADV motorcycles. So I like that, arms. Oh, this is what I was talking about. See, it pulls you. It sort of pushes you back in the seat, the second gear. The Himalayan doesn't do that. The Himalayan is in a much softer state of tune. Yeah, this motorcycle is making me act like an idiot on the road because it's that capable. This is a fun commuter. My God. I love the way it's riding. I really like the way it's riding. I always say this, 40 bhp is really more than enough. I mean, in the city, why do you need more? I do ride big motorcycles, but I can't play around with those big motorcycles like I can on a small bike. So to be very honest, I'd probably reach my work much faster on this bike than I would on my street triple, and that's saying something. It's also a very light motorcycle. I think you'll be able to filter through traffic on this bike very easily. Holy shit. The one thing that I don't quite like is the fact that it has a very small fuel tank. 11 liters is not enough, and if you're going to ride like this, the motorcycle is not going to give you a lot of fuel economy. So it says 25 on the instrument console. It probably is more like 21, 22. So basically, you reach about what do you call it, 180, 200 kilometers on a tank full, and you'd start looking for fuel. So I don't really quite care for that. I think 13, 14, 15 liters is good enough. 15 is what it should have had, because I want that 300 kilometers of range. Because let's say if I effectively am doing 220, 230 on this motorcycle, on a tank full, that means I have to go get gas in it every third day. And when you are trying to daily a motorcycle, that's not nice. You don't want to get gas every third day. Maybe once a week is okay, but not every third day. It's a very smart looking motorcycle. The fit and finish is very, very, very good. The paint quality is very good. Again, not my choice of colors, but I can't fault it for the paint quality. Wait, did the mirrors move? I think I've heard this criticism earlier, that the mirrors are not very stable. They did move down, I think, because I had adjusted them last night. See this fucking second gear pull, man. This is what I'm talking about. This is making me ride like an idiot. But it is addictive. So I think it's one of those motorcycles, and this is something that I experienced last evening while coming back. You'd always want to be on the throttle on this bike. I mean, that is where the fun lies, to have it in the mid-range, to have it above 4,000 RPM. Hey, very easy to, ride in easy-going traffic. Like this, if the traffic is flowing, we are easily riding. Second gear, off throttle, doing 18, pulls cleanly. Hey, nice, very nice. I've actually, I've stopped riding motorcycles with a 17-inch wheel at the front for a very long time. I've mostly been doing ADVs and dirt bikes, so either a 19 or a 21-inch front is what I'm used to. So 17 is quite a rarity for me. But I'll tell you something about 17 and 19-inch wheels that I've been riding. I was riding the Scrambler 400X, yesterday morning and the night before that, because I brought that home. Our motorcycle editor, King Shook, he has the Scrambler 400X, and I told him, bro, I'm taking this motorcycle home, and he's like, yeah, sure. So I really like commuting on it. I felt it's like the perfect city motorcycle. However, I would like to believe that maybe the Guerrilla trumps it. It trumps it in the city, I would like to believe. It's a bit more fun. That's how I would like to put it. That Triumph engine felt smoother, I would like to say. But this is smooth enough. And holy shit, water. Yeah, this is smooth enough here. I mean, what do you need? Not everything can be a Honda CB350. Lacks any soul whatsoever. This feels like a supermoto. It really does feel like I'm riding a supermoto. Oh, lots of traffic. What do we do? What do we do? Oh God, I don't want to be late to work. But okay, I think this is also essential to show you how this motorcycle is in very heavy traffic. By the way, this is a very light motorcycle. I don't care what people say about numbers. 189 kilos, 200 kilos, 210, 150, 160. You sit on a motorcycle and you feel where the weight is. You feel how the weight feels on the go, and that is what your benchmark should be, whether a motorcycle is heavy or not. This motorcycle is very light. It is very, very, very light. It feels like a much lighter motorcycle than what the numbers would suggest. Good city bike. So I've not ridden the Hunter, but I feel people who ride the Hunter, this would be the perfect upgrade for them. No need to keep your feet down. The bike is very well balanced in such a situation. Do I go from there? No, I don't want to. Okay, fuck it, let's go. Had it been the Himalayan, I would be flying through this section, but right now just casually strolling through here. This is what I like about motorcycles, man. You just make your own way. Just make your own way. Now let's see. Just go from here. I don't want muck on my clothes. Headed to work. Again, this fucking second gear is surprising me, man. It does feel like you're on a bike bigger than a 400. The way it pulls in the second. It's so nice. It is so nice, the way it pulls. And the brakes are good. The brakes are good. I'm also using the rear brake. Just dabbing on it a little. Usually I just use the front brake, but here I'm using both. Okay, let's just go from here. So this is why the traffic is so bad here, because this thing broke down. The clutch is slightly on the heavier side, but it's not so heavy that it'll be a bother. I think it might just be a slip and assist clutch, but I mean, who cares what it is? It's the feel that matters, and it's not bothering me that much. So yeah, this is a win in my opinion. I think let's do this. Let's go via SDA and then in front of Ames. This might just save me some time. Even in third, it pulls, you know, like, I really like the engine mapping on this motorcycle. I feel they give this map, I feel they should give this map on the Himalayan, at least as an option. The Himalayan is so much softer than this bike in its approach. I feel this might just be the best motorcycle Royal Enfield has made in terms of the sheer fun factor. I have not really ridden the KTM Duke 390, never really caught my fancy, that motorcycle, so I can't really compare it to that bike, but you know, the way it's built, I have ridden the Triumph Speed 400 and I feel that it's a very nice motorcycle. There's not a lot of complaints that I have with the Triumph 400. Having said that, this is a more characterful motorcycle, I would like to believe. And I can tell you from my experience, from you know, I don't think I would want to constantly push the motorcycle, the Triumph. This I would. I rode my friend Ankit's Speed 400, you know, a while ago, so my memory is a bit foggy about that motorcycle. I don't quite remember that as well as I remember the Scrambler 400X. So, but then that's a Scrambler, right? So I'm not sure if this is the right comparison, and if I would like to believe they are in the same state of tune, the Speed 400 and the Scrambler 400X, and in my opinion this has a better mid and top end. So I was noticing this yesterday while coming home from work. The Scrambler, this motorcycle, I was keeping it between 90 and 110 throughout, you know, like riding just because today is the second ride, last night was the first ride. I was so taken aback by how good the throttle response of this motorcycle is. I was constantly gunning it. I was really gunning it in traffic. So you know, because some of the stretches that I take are the expressway with traffic, of course. So I was doing about a 90 to 110 on this bike throughout. On the Scrambler 400X, the entire route, I was doing 80 to 100. So you know, I was 10 kilometers an hour faster on this bike at any point of time, and that's quite saying something. Yeah, this gives you the confidence to do stupid things on the road. And my god, reassuring brakes. So I haven't really taken this motorcycle beyond 110, 115, so I don't really know, you know, how the very high speed handling would be, but it's still a long motorcycle. I would like to believe it'll be good, but then we will reserve that judgment for when we get on the expressway. There is no heat on my legs, by the way. I mean, I don't think the engine has started to get hot. And again, you know, I don't like saying this much, but I still end up saying it. I do ride big bikes, and you know, I'm used to a different kind of heat from those engines. So I'm very bad at gauging whether a small motorcycle is heating up or not, because I just don't feel it. And again, man, this is just point and shoot, bro, at this point of time. What a bike. I'm loving it. I can actually do this. Okay, this is stupid fun, this bike. We will go up this loop. And I'm not really the, you know, stick your knee to the ground kind of rider. I would never do that. A, I can't even do that. B, even if I could, I wouldn't do that on a public road. I don't have a death wish. I'm not going to push a bike that hard on roads. Not that I can, but even if I could, I wouldn't. And that kind of brings me to some of the criticism that this motorcycle has been facing, that it's not hard enough a motorcycle. But really, do you really need a motorcycle like that in the city? Are you going to go corner carving in a city? cities where this motorcycle is going to spend 90% of its time. Otherwise, it's going to be on mountain roads. And are you really going to go knee down on mountain roads in India, where anything and everything comes from any direction? I don't think so. So I think this motorcycle is just about right for what its intended uses, which is this. It's a fun, sporty city bike. Whoa. Very sharp brakes. And not sharp as in scary sharp. It's reassuring sharp. A little bit of traffic here, but it's gonna start opening up soon, and then we'd be on the D&D flyway in about 10 minutes to face another stretch of traffic. I think I should do this on more motorcycles, these commute videos. It'll help me develop a perspective, and it'll help you guys understand my perspective on motorcycles and what I look for in a bike. Handlebars is the right width, on this bike. It's the right width. It's not too wide, it's not too narrow. I sat in the shotgun and I found the handlebar to be too narrow. The Himalayan's handlebar is a little bit too wide for stuff like this, especially with the barkbusters also sticking out. You wouldn't want to throw that bike in the corners. Between gaps, the way you would something like this. Also, I did mention that, the seating position, I find it to be just right. The handlebar is tall enough for me. I was speaking to a friend yesterday who has ridden the Guerrilla extensively, and he said that, maybe he would prefer a slightly sportier handlebar setup, maybe a bit lower. But then he rides a Honda Fireblade, so, and before that, Daytona 675. So his parameters for what a sporty motorcycle is are very different than mine. This is just right for me, because any sportier and my palms start hurting. So my palms, they started hurting on the Speed 400. My palms did hurt a little on the Scrambler 400X. Holy shit, why is there so much traffic? My palms also hurt a little bit on my Interceptor, which runs a very sporty setup. Here it's not that bad. Here and on ADVs it doesn't hurt, because my back is almost upright. Yeah, okay. Second gear, rides at 18, pick up the throttle, no problem, rides well. So we've hit reserve. The Himalayan used to hit reserve, not reserve ready, but yeah, it used to hit reserve when, you've got 90 kilometers left, a range of 90 left. Let's see, what does this have? Yeah, 78. Now that I'm going over these flyover joints, I forgot to talk about the suspension. Firm, sporty, yet supple. It's not so firm that it's going to jolt your brains or your back, but it is firm enough to make the bike handle in a very sporty manner. The suspension doesn't dive all that much, because also the travel would be very limited. Again, I don't really remember how much the travel is. Anyway, it doesn't even matter. It's enough for the city. But I like the suspension. It's not upside down forks. It's a right side up, conventional telescopic unit, and it works just fine. It works better than fine. I would like to believe, and this is from the top of my head, this suspension setup is sportier than the Triumph Speed 400. That is a good suspension setup. This might just be better. Let me do this. I need to ride the Speed 400 to make more comments on, the Speed 400 versus the Guerrilla, but I feel this has a better suspension, a better ride quality. Oh, dark clouds are forming. I better get to work soon. Don't want to stop in the middle of the road and get into my rain gear. Fuck, I just love being on the throttle on this bike because I know I'm in control. That's the point, man. That is the point of, 40 bhp. You are in fucking control at all times. On my street triple, I feel scared now because I've been riding, smaller motorcycles for a longer period of time, and softer motorcycles, ADVs, even though my ADV is at 1200. The street triple scares me a little. This is not scaring me, this is supporting me. I like what I'm doing and I feel I'm in complete control of the motorcycle. Exactly how it should be. See, I went through that patch and the suspension, it soaked it up. It's firm, it's firm in a good way. It's firm in a good way. Now I'm not a technical rider. I'm just an average Joe like you guys. So the suspension works for me, man. I'm no racer. I've not ridden a motorcycle on a race track, so I wouldn't know. It's good enough for me though, here in the city, for my stupid fast ride. 70 kilometers an hour speed limit. There's a camera up front, so we will not go fast. Okay, let's see. If somebody is just riding this bike for fuel economy, 1 second. Okay, so here it says, I'm riding like this, 60 kilometers an hour in the 6. It says 34, 32, 36, 35. It'll give you 30 kilometers to a liter. Even my Himalayan does that. My Himalayan is giving 30 kilometers, 35 kilometers to a liter with the Fuel X because I run it slightly lean in the city. Because the Himalayan doesn't have the character that this bike has. You're not going to ride that fast in the city. So this motorcycle, if you're just cruising in the city, commuting to work and back, it may be give you 280, 300 kilometers to a tank. I don't know that. I have not done it, but I refuse to ride this bike like this. It's perfectly happy doing this, but to me, the fun of this bike, by the way, dark clouds, is this. Drop down 2 gears and then just sort of, have fun. Whoa. The gearbox is very smooth, just like the Himalayan. I just noticed that, I am shifting and I've not had a false neutral or anything. Great gearbox, great sound for a throttled up 450 single. Great sound. I don't know if you can hear it. I have a mic behind the cheek pad, so the sound might just be extremely muted, but great sound, man. Okay, so yeah, you get a car and then you're just stuck here, just fucking stuck here. I hate driving in the city. If it's raining, then I don't have a choice. I have to take my Hilux, but otherwise I just hate it. I absolutely hate it. Why would you not ride a motorcycle? It's just faster and more convenient. See how a motorcycle just somehow it'll find its way. A motorcycle will always find a way to move ahead in traffic, unlike a car. Yeah, sure. Narrow bike. It's a very narrow bike, no? Very narrow bike. here. Go for the gap, yes, let's go for the gap. Here also. Third gear champion, this bike is. Easily crosses 80 in the third. Actually, it went up to 100 in the third, if I remember correctly, earlier today. And we are getting on the expressway very soon. Big buildings of Noida, quite a stark contrast to Delhi. Let's go through some of these imperfections on the road. Tiny potholes to see how the bike reacts. Oh, I'm on the wrong side for potholes. Missed them. Okay, let's go to this. No problem. Slightly firm, but no problem. Firm is good. This is our expressway, full of traffic. Come on, traffic, thin out. This motorcycle is really getting the reckless rider out of me on the street. Fun. Feels like road rash, man, a little bit. I can't do this in a car. Okay, so we've got about 7-8 kilometers to cover like this. Love being on the gas here. By the way, you will again probably end up calling me biased, but I don't feel vibes. I don't feel vibes at these speeds. So I don't know what most people are talking about. Maybe our hands and ass are too numb to feel vibes. To the left for now, and now we open up a little. Okay, let's get on to here. Again, feels like traffic is a little bit heavier than what it usually is on the expressway today. Full gas. Man, this bike is cool. I like the Guerrilla, which apparently a lot of my friends call Gorilla. Wait, go now. Fucking go goes all the way up to 8,000 and more, yeah. I'm sorry, but anybody criticizing this bike, they don't understand what it's meant for. They really don't. What a bike, man. So I left my house a little after 9:30 and it's, yeah, almost an hour. I'd still end up reaching about 20 minutes, 25 minutes before work, so that's pretty cool. So this is exit number 1 on the expressway. I take exit number 2 and then I cross the expressway from the underpass, get on the other side and just continue ahead for another 2.5 odd kilometers to get to my workplace. If the camera holds up, the battery holds on, you know, I'm gonna show you. So yeah, we take this. And then we take a left turn from here. There's traffic everywhere in this country. What to do? What to do? I bet it'll pull a wheelie easily. Not that I would, I really don't even know how to like properly control a wheelie, so not something that I would be interested in doing. But yeah, this is I mean, I'm not getting tired of this motorcycle, you know, of revving the tits off it. That's amazing. Whoa. Okay, what is happening here? Why is there so much traffic? What is that crane doing in the middle of the road? Insane. Just absolutely insane. Fuck, I hit the limiter. Finally here. Oh, easy to turn. We will now park it next to my project interceptor, if there is space there. My bike is still here. Left it here yesterday. Okay, so where is it? Oh, it's there. So King Shook's bike is here, the Scrambler 400X, which I was riding earlier. Okay, my interceptor is here. I'll quickly squeeze this between my interceptor and the Splendor. Okay. Okay, let's get off it. All right, two very different yet potent motorcycles side by side. I had a lot of fun riding the Guerrilla 450, and I think that is what motorcycling should be all about, having fun. Yeah, it works as a package for me. I'd probably pick the black if I had to get one myself, even though this color is not too bad. It'll grow on you with time, I would like to believe. Yeah, this was my commute to office on the Guerrilla. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you like this style of video, and I'll do more of these. Bye bye.